Everything Cooper built is slipping through his fingers, and this time, Tommy is the one standing between his son and a man powerful enough to burn their entire world down. Gallino has made his move, the truth is out, and episode 3 is about to explode with confrontations no one is ready for. The storm that has been brewing since the beginning of the season finally takes shape as episode 3 opens. Cooper, still riding the high of his sudden success, believes he has found the breakthrough that will change everything for him: financial security, respect, and a future no one can take away. But the shine begins to fade the moment Tommy steps in. Tommy senses danger the way a seasoned man senses a snake under dry leaves, and the way he looks at Cooper tells us he already knows something is terribly wrong. Cooper tries to act confident, even relaxed, brushing aside Tommy's concerns as if everything is under control, but his voice trembles. His new deal feels too perfect, too easy, and Tommy has lived long enough to know that in their world, perfect always hides a price. Tommy's suspicion grows even deeper when he learns who is behind the partnership. The name hits him like a blow. Gallino, a man who never does anything without a hidden hook, a man who can make even the strongest men kneel without lifting a finger. Tommy knows Gallino's reputation better than anyone, and the idea that his own son has unknowingly stepped into the man's trap tears him apart. He is angry at Cooper, furious at Gallino, and terrified of what this partnership could mean for their entire family. Tommy tries to talk to Cooper calmly at first, but when Cooper pushes back, unable to see the danger, the tension between father and son becomes impossible to ignore. Cooper thinks he is finally proving himself. Tommy knows he is walking straight into the lion's mouth. Meanwhile, Cammy's world continues to collapse, piece by piece. Mtex is drowning in the mess Monty created, and every new file, every hidden deal, every missing number feels like another crack in the walls holding her company together. Cammy tries to stay composed, but the fear behind her eyes makes it clear. She is losing control. Rebecca and Nate are doing everything they can. Nate digs through records like a man clawing through dirt for air, while Rebecca fights ruthlessly across negotiation tables, refusing to let Mtex sink. But even they cannot ignore the biggest issue: $400 million, gone without a trace. The weight of that missing money follows Cammy everywhere she goes, sitting on her shoulders like a shadow she cannot escape. And then comes the worst news. Someone finally figures out where the money went. Someone knows who took it. Tommy and another man rush to confront the thief, and the moment they arrive, the tension becomes suffocating. The man tries to dodge, lie, twist the truth, but Tommy isn't there for games. All the frustration, fear, and buried rage inside him breaks loose when he slams a bottle on the man's head. It is not just anger, it is desperation. Mtex is sinking, Cooper is in danger, and Gallino's shadow is spreading fast. Tommy can no longer afford to be a gentle father or a quiet businessman. The stakes are too high. And when the scene shifts, revealing that this confrontation happened at Gallino's table, one thing becomes painfully clear. Gallino is not only after Cooper, he has his hands around Mtex as well. Elsewhere, Ariana tries to hold herself together after breaking up with Cooper. She is hurt, confused, and convinced she made the right decision, yet her heart refuses to settle. In the promo, we see her struggling with a man who clearly refuses to leave her alone. Ariana tries to push him away, but the situation grows more threatening by the second. And even though she tries to be strong, a part of her knows the only person who ever truly protected her was Cooper. Their love may be cracked, but it is not broken, and this moment of danger may be exactly what pulls them back toward each other. Angela and Aninsley, on the other hand, continue stumbling into trouble the way they always do, with good intentions and terrible judgment. Their hearts are soft, their decisions are chaotic, and once again they drag themselves into a situation far beyond their understanding. Tommy steps in to save them, but even he is starting to lose patience. Their childish behavior doesn't match the darkness closing in on everyone else, and the contrast is becoming sharper with each episode. And somewhere in the background, unseen but impossible to forget, is TL. His presence in Tommy's life is shifting something deep inside the old man. The grief, the memories, the trauma, Everything is rising back to the surface. Tommy is changing, softening in ways he doesn't want to admit, and if TL moves in after the funeral, the emotional weight of their bond will push Tommy into choices he never imagined making. The pressure surrounding Tommy rises like heat trapped beneath metal, and by the time he decides to confront Gallino face to face, he isn't the same steady, controlled man we've seen in the past. The fear he carries for Cooper, the disaster unfolding at Mtex, and the truth behind the missing $400 million have pushed him into a corner. Tommy has spent his entire life dealing with hard men, men who lie, men who cheat, men who bury their enemies. But Gallino is different. Gallino doesn't need muscle to be dangerous. His calm is the real threat. His smile is the warning. And walking toward him feels like walking into a room where the walls might start closing in at any moment. When Tommy finally enters Gallino's place, he immediately notices the silence. A heavy, hanging silence that tells him he is walking into a trap built carefully, calmly, and intentionally. Gallino sits at the table as if nothing in the world could disturb him. He gestures for Tommy to join him, but it isn't an invitation, it's a test. Tommy sits anyway because turning back now would only make things worse. And for a moment, nothing happens. They sit across from each other, watching, waiting, measuring the other man's breath and confidence. Then Gallino speaks first, and every word he delivers carries a hidden blade. He praises Cooper's initiative, almost mocking the boy's excitement over his new deal. He compliments Tommy, too, telling him he raised a son ambitious enough to make his own path. But every compliment sounds like a threat wearing a polite mask. It's clear Gallino sees Cooper as a pawn, young, talented, and easily manipulated. And that is the part that tears Tommy apart the most. Cooper may be strong, but he does not know the kind of man he is dealing with. Tommy does. Finally, Tommy breaks the silence and tells Gallino to stay away from his son. The words are sharp, heavier than anything Tommy has said all season. In that moment, Tommy is not speaking as a businessman or a landman. He is speaking as a father who has already lost too much in life and refuses to lose his child to a man like Gallino. But Gallino only laughs, a quiet, unsettling laugh that chills the room. He leans back, taps a finger on the table, and reminds Tommy that Cooper came to him willingly. He didn't force anything. He didn't threaten anything. He simply gave Cooper an opportunity, and Cooper grabbed it. Tommy knows the truth. Gallino never gives without expecting something in return, and the price he demands is always steep. So Tommy pushes harder. He warns Gallino that if he hurts Cooper or uses him for his own games, Tommy will come after him. The moment is tense, electric, and dangerous. Gallino's eyes sharpen, and the air between them shifts. This is the moment where the trailer gets its most explosive line. Tommy threatening Gallino directly. It's a bold move, a reckless move, a move made by a man who has reached the end of his patience. Gallino finally drops the friendly facade and shows Tommy what he truly is: cold, calculating, and merciless. He tells Tommy that threats mean nothing to him, that men like Tommy disappear every day, that one wrong step, one wrong decision, and Cooper could lose everything he's gained. Then he leans forward and delivers the line that changes everything. Your son stepped into my world. If you want him out, you'll have to pull harder than you ever have in your life. The meaning is clear. Cooper is trapped in Gallino's web, and the more Tommy fights, the more dangerous the situation becomes. Back at Mtex, Cammy is breaking from the pressure. Every new revelation about Monty's hidden deals makes it clear that the company she spent her life protecting is hanging by a thread. Even with Rebecca fighting like a wolf and Nate uncovering truths buried deep in Monty's files, the danger grows. Cammy feels responsible, guilty, and terrified at the same time. And when she learns that Tommy's violent confrontation happened under Gallino's roof, she realizes something she hasn't admitted before. Gallino isn't just a threat to Cooper. He is a threat to everything connected to her. Meanwhile, Angela and Aninslee attempt to recover from their latest foolish mistake, but the weight of Tommy's tension is dragging them down as well. For the first time, even they sense the darkness creeping into their world. Their innocence, which once brought lighthearted moments, now feels out of place, like laughter echoing inside a burning building. Ariana tries to protect herself from the man who has been following her, but her fear grows as the situation worsens. She keeps telling herself she does not need Cooper, that she can handle things alone. But deep down, she knows that the world is growing more dangerous, and the man she walked away from might be the only person who can truly stand by her when things fall apart. And throughout the episode, Cooper continues spiraling. He is caught between excitement and confusion, between ambition and danger. He doesn't want to disappoint his father, but he also doesn't want to give up what he thinks he's earned. The cracks inside him are widening, and soon something will break. The fallout from Tommy's confrontation with Gallino spreads through the story like wildfire, touching every character and every storyline. Tommy walks out of Gallino's place with anger burning behind his eyes, but underneath that anger is something he won't admit to anyone, not even himself. Fear. Real fear. The kind that settles deep in the bones. He knows Gallino is not bluffing. He knows Gallino has power that stretches farther than land contracts and oil fields. For the first time in a long time, Tommy feels like he is fighting an enemy he cannot predict, cannot read, and cannot control. And that terrifies him more than anything else. When Tommy returns home, Cooper immediately senses something is wrong. He tries to ask what happened, but Tommy shuts him down with a look sharp enough to cut through steel. That silence creates a wound between them, a heavy gap filled with things unsaid. Cooper is frustrated because he believes he is finally finding his path. But Tommy sees the truth. His son has been manipulated, pushed into a game far bigger than his experience allows him to understand. Cooper keeps telling himself that Gallino is just a businessman, someone who recognized his potential. But the reality is darker. Gallino saw Cooper's naivety, loneliness, and hunger to prove himself. And he used all of it to pull him in. As Cooper tries to make sense of his father's behavior, the walls around him begin to shake. People he has known for years suddenly look at him differently. Some admire his success, while others fear what it means for the company. Rebecca and Nate study the partnership documents with growing unease. Nate notices small inconsistencies, tiny mistakes that wouldn't exist in a deal drafted with honest intentions. Rebecca, sharp as a blade, is the first to realize something dangerous. Gallino didn't just enter Cooper's life. He planned this. Every move, every word, every opportunity was designed to trap the young man. And Rebecca starts preparing herself for a fight she knows is coming. Meanwhile, Cammy reaches a breaking point. Learning that the confrontation over the missing $400 million happened at Gallino's table forces her to confront a terrifying possibility. Monty's secret dealings may have tied Mtex directly to Gallino's underground operations. If that's true, then their company is in far more danger than just financial collapse. Gallino does not leave loose ends. And Cammy begins to understand that the fallout of Monty's actions is deeper, darker, and more far-reaching than she ever imagined. She tries to keep her composure in front of her team, but when she's alone, the fear she hides finally shows. She realizes that if she doesn't untangle this mess quickly, the company could fall, and everyone attached to it could fall with it. Ariana's tension intensifies as her situation spirals into something she can no longer control. The man confronting her in the promo becomes more aggressive, more unpredictable. Ariana tries to stay strong, but her voice breaks as she pushes him away. The emotional weight of everything she has endured, including her breakup with Cooper, shatters the hard shell she has tried to build around herself. And as the man's behavior becomes more threatening, one thought keeps echoing in her mind. She walked away from the one person who always protected her. For the first time since the breakup, she begins to regret it. Angela and Aninsley, usually the source of comic relief, stumble into a moment of unexpected seriousness. The chaos around them has changed something inside them. Their mistakes are no longer harmless. Their choices are no longer cute or funny. They can feel the danger pressing in from all sides. When Tommy snaps at them, the shock forces them to look at themselves honestly for the first time. Their immaturity has consequences now, real ones. And if they don't grow up, the season is going to swallow them whole. As night falls, Tommy finds himself alone, sitting in the quiet darkness of his home. For years, he has carried himself like a steel pillar, unbreakable, unshakable. But everything Gallino said keeps echoing through his mind. The threat was not spoken plainly, but Tommy heard it in the spaces between the words. He knows men like Gallino don't need to shout. They don't need to show force. Their quiet confidence is the weapon. And Tommy realizes something he hasn't admitted out loud yet. He is outmatched. Not in strength, but in reach. Gallino is coming at him from all angles. Cooper, Mtex, influence, money, secrets. Tommy has never faced a man with this much control. But fear only fuels him. In the closing moments of the episode, Tommy makes a decision that will shape the rest of the season. He refuses to let Gallino pull his son deeper into darkness. He refuses to let Mtex collapse under Monty's sins. And he refuses to watch another person he loves slip out of his hands. Something inside him hardens as he prepares for the coming war. The grief he carries from his past and the fire burning in his chest fuse together, turning him into something even stronger than before. And while Cooper sleeps, unaware of the chaos swirling around him, Tommy steps outside into the cold night air. His eyes are steady. His jaw is set. He knows what he has to do. The man he confronts in episode 3, the man he threatens, is not the real enemy. Gallino is. And from this point forward, Tommy is no longer playing defense. He is preparing to strike back. The stage is set for a season filled with danger, betrayals, and explosive confrontations, and episode 3 is the spark that ignites the fire.